Shumai guys, welcome back to the Life to the Full podcast, the podcast that helps you make the most of your time here on Earth. My name's Dav Morse, I'm your host. Wonderful to be back on the airwaves again, direct from my airwaves to your ear holes. I don't know why I said that. It just feels kind of intimate to think that you've got earphones in or you've got headphones on, you're listening directly to my voice into your ears. It's quite an intimate thing. It's quite close. So thank you for taking time to listen. Today's episode is pretty exciting. There's something more exciting coming up. And that is actually episode 100. Oh, hello. We're still going. Hang on. I was not expecting that to keep going. There we go. I am so excited and, if I'm honest, a bit proud of myself for making it to episode 100. This is episode number 99. Episode number 100 will be coming out probably at the beginning of September. I recorded an interview with Joshua from the Art of Money and Communication podcast, and it was wonderful. The first time I've met Joshua in real life. I went to his recording studio over in South Wales, just along from me, along the M4 corridor, and met the guy. Absolutely wonderful chap, top quality bloke. Met his family, his wife, and his wonderful kid, and it was great. We talked about financial independence, navigating the ever increasing cost of living, and how you might actually be semi-retired before you turn 40. We talked about going from 2 incomes down to just half an income. Loads more stuff. Really interesting. Great conversation we had. So keep an eye out for that one. Keep an ear out for that one. Coming in, probably the beginning of September. So listen out. But first, I want to ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "Ooh, life would be better when... ... Life would be better when the kids are back at school." Or, life would be better when I get a new job. Life would be better when my boss respects me more. Life would be better if I'm single. Life would be better if I'm married. Life would be better at any point other than now. Life will settle down. Those are dangerous words. Life will settle down when such and such happens. It's a completely normal thought. I have those thoughts myself. And to be honest, it's sometimes quite useful. It helps us push on towards our goals. But it's also a lie. A lie that keeps us permanently dissatisfied, always waiting for the next thing to finally give us some satisfaction. I've called this episode "Comfort is an Idol." Somebody listening may not think or may not be familiar with idols or what I mean by an idol. So let's just start with what I actually mean when I'm talking about an idol. So in biblical times, an idol was something created by humans to replace God. An image carved from wood or metal, which was worshipped instead of God himself. It was a thing placed above everything else. The thing you put your hope in, the thing you put your trust in, the thing that you built your life on. Now there's a story in the Bible that captures this perfectly, where Moses goes up the mountain to meet with God and to receive the 10 commandments. And the people down the bottom of the mountain getting really impatient, thinking, this Moses chap, he's supposed to be our leader, but it doesn't look like he's coming back. I know. Let's make ourselves a god. Let's make ourselves an idol. Let's make ourselves a golden calf. So they collect all the gold up and they melt it down and they create this golden calf and they start to worship that instead. It was something that they could see and touch and, it was right there and they could look at and admire. But really, it was just a lump of gold. That's the pattern with every idol. It feels like something worthwhile, but it's actually a poor substitute for the real thing. It looked desirable, it looked worth having, but ultimately it was useless. It could never satisfy, it could never actually do what they were hoping it would do, and it replaces what's truly valuable and meaningful with something empty and worthless. So what are our modern idols? Not many of us know that many people with little golden statues of gods lying around the place, but we all worship something. We all have something which we put as the ultimate place in our life. I heard a man talk once, give a talk on comfort, as on idols, and he said that human beings throughout time and history have always had 4 idols: sex, money, power, and the 4th one, comfort. I remember listening to this talk and I'm thinking, sex, that's not really an idol for me. For many people, it is. It's something that people chase, something people desire, something that people put their priority in. Certainly money, again, for me, I was thinking, listening to this talk, it's not that motivating for me. Money's a good thing, it can help you do stuff, but it's not the thing that drives me. And for many people, that is the thing that drives them. It's the thing that gets them up in the morning. It's the thing that they lie awake thinking about at night. It's the thing that they prioritize above all things. Power was the other one. Again, I've never been motivated by power. In fact, climbing to the top of my chosen career was very much at the bottom of my priorities, even as a student, looking around at people thinking, these guys, they just want to get to the top. They want to make as much money as they can, and they don't care who they have to step on to get to the top. And that really wasn't for me. Many people, power. If you look at our politicians, maybe, keen to get into power and remain in power. They promise so much and deliver so little. Leaves people empty. If you get the promotion, you want the next one. If you get your number in your bank account, you want more. You have to move the goalposts. We are on a constant hedonic treadmill. The idea that what we want is just out of reach. What we want is just that little bit more, just that little bit further. And we are constantly on this treadmill, never getting anywhere. And comfort is also something that fits this description. This was the one, when I was listening to this talk, I was thinking, actually, yes, that is my idol. I need to be aware of that. Now, comfort is something probably we all want more of. We all wish our lives could be a little bit easier. If the majority of us, you examine our lives, you'd come to the conclusion that most of what we do is in pursuit of a less stressful life. We pursue and prioritize comfort. Some of us just want to take the easy path now, taking the path of least resistance. And some of us are striving so that one day we'll be able to take our foot off the pedal and relax and enjoy life. We long for that time where we don't have to go to work. We long for a time where we don't have problems in our lives. And this is why comfort is an idol. It fits that exact pattern I've just talked about. It promises so much and cannot deliver on any of it. We believe the lie that if we only had X amount of money, we'd be happy. If we only had a spouse that didn't nag or complain, then I'd be happy. If only I could lose 5 kilos, I'd be happy. If I only had the body that I want, I'd be happy. And that is exactly why we shouldn't pursue comfort as the highest priority in our lives. Now, does that mean we shouldn't bother making our lives easier at all? Absolutely not. I live in a house, not a tent. I go to the supermarket. I don't forage for my dinner. At least, not every day. I'm actively pursuing financial independence so that one day I don't have to work for income. And if I've got a choice between work that pays £65 an hour and work that pays £12 an hour, I'm going to do the £65 an hour job. It's just common sense. Making things harder for the sake of making things harder has its place, certainly. But for the most part, making your life easier is a good thing. It's part of what motivates us. Making having an easy life our life's aim is not good. And there's the important distinction I want to make between comfort as a benefit for our souls and comfort as an idol. It's pretty much possible to turn anything into an idol. Your kids can be an idol, your wife can be an idol, your job can be an idol. The distinction is that you don't put all of your life's hope and satisfaction on these good things. It's worth pointing out that comfort-seeking and rest are not the same thing. Rest restores you so you can go back and do hard things. Comfort, when it becomes the goal, is an escape from doing hard things. Rest is important for a sustainable life. Rest is important for our well-being. Comfort is avoiding reality. Prioritizing rest is a wonderful, life-giving thing. Prioritizing comfort is a recipe for failure and dissatisfaction. I remember distinctly being in a parents' evening one time, and I suggested this lad, he was about 15 or 16, and I said, maybe he's not really focusing that much on his schoolwork at the moment. Is there a way that we can help him to focus more on his schoolwork? Maybe we could limit his screen time a little bit. And the parents looked at me and thought, yes, that's a good idea. Maybe we should limit it to 4 hours a night. And I was thinking, 4 hours a night? I was thinking probably maybe like an hour, and then he can do some other creative things and do his homework, keep on top of his schoolwork. And his parents said, "Oh, right, okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do an hour screen time a day." And this kid looked at his parents and said, "You say that, but you're not going to do it." And there, in that moment, I saw parents who had prioritized comfort raising this child, prioritized short-term comfort, and then suffering the consequences later on in life. As a personal example, I feel like I've got more potential than I'm currently using. I should be pushing harder to build my business, build my podcast, build my financial coaching business. But the truth is, I'm currently working as a maths tutor, just doing, enough hours a week, maybe 10, 15, 20 hours a week, and that's enough to cover the bills, go on holiday, get a few nice things, and I could be pushing harder. I'm prioritizing comfort and certainty with maths tuition rather than the uncertainty of building a business. I know it's something I need to do. I know it's something I need to prioritize. But truth be told, it is easier and more comfortable to not do that and focus on the things that I know are easy, that pay the bills, that are comfortable. I want to be careful because contentment is a good thing. I've mentioned that. Comparison is a contentment killer. I've learnt to be content whether I have a lot or a little. And so being content is incredibly powerful. Being at peace with what you have is a good thing. But there's a difference between genuine contentment and avoiding the harder path because it's harder. Contentment says, I'm at peace with what I have. And although I am at peace with what I have, I know I could be doing more. And that balance is one to strive for. So why is chasing comfort actually bad for us? Well, apart from the fact that we know that we won't actually be permanently satisfied when we reach whatever thing it is we've told ourselves will make us happy. It robs us of the chance to do hard things and to grow in character through doing them. Struggle is where the opportunities for growth are in life. If we're constantly prioritizing comfort, the easy path, we miss out on some of the amazing opportunities for growth that we have. And here's a word of encouragement, second word of encouragement to the parents listening. Don't always take the easy path with your kids. I get it. Sometimes you just want to give them the iPad to stop them screaming. And I get, that's absolutely fine. But just don't make it the default. Don't make it the default thing to avoid conflict with your kids, to avoid the fight it is to make them do stuff. It would be far easier to let my kids get away with watching TV instead of helping with dinner. Less whining, and to be honest, it would actually be quicker because they actually slow the process down when they're helping making dinner. But it is valuable for them. It's a valuable thing for them to know that they are part of the team. They have responsibility. They have expectations. And long term, they'll be less entitled and generally just more pleasant human beings for having done that harder thing. And there's another cost here to pursuing comfort, one that's slightly less obvious maybe. Comfort doesn't just dull our ambition, it quietly pulls us out of community. Discomfort is often what pushes us towards other people. We reach out when we're struggling. We lean on friends when life is hard. We show up to church, we go to the gym, we go to the group chat because we need people to listen to us. We need people to understand us. We need people to sympathize with us and encourage us. But when comfort is easily available, we can numb out with the screen or a snack or an evening alone instead of going out with friends. We quietly opt out of the relationships that were meant to carry us. Comfort is a brilliant excuse to isolate, and isolation is expensive in ways we don't notice until much later. People are where the difficulties in life are. I sometimes fantasize about getting a small holding, keeping chickens and bees, being self-sufficient enough so I don't have to rely on other people. I don't have to see other people. I could do it just me and the family. But ultimately, that would be a vastly inferior life to one where I have strong relationships with those around me. And there is actually a money connection here, which fits directly into what's coming up in episode 100. Comfort seeking can sabotage financial independence. It's the impulse purchase because today's been hard and you deserve it. It's getting Uber Eats because you can't be bothered to cook. The things that chip away at your finances. It's avoiding honest conversations with your partner about spending because that conversation is uncomfortable. None of these decisions are catastrophic on their own. But financial independence is built on thousands of small decisions to tolerate short-term discomfort for long-term freedom. Chase comfort in your 20s and 30s, and you'll likely still be working for every pound into your 60s. Tolerate some discomfort now, and you'll buy yourself options and freedom later. Then the flip side of this is that the comfort of financial independence becomes the idol. It becomes an idol all of its own. We can idealize and idolize the life of financial independence. Imagine a life with no alarm clocks, no boss telling you need to do this or that, to stay late, to work Saturdays. You've got no mortgage to worry about. A life where you get to do whatever you want, whenever you want. A life of freedom. A life where you can go to the gym at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. You can play golf on a Wednesday morning. You can meet your friends or your spouse for coffee on a Friday afternoon. Who wouldn't want that life? Sounds amazing. And it's all made possible through buying assets that pay for your living costs. It's an exciting narrative. When you get to a point where you have enough invested to pay for your living expenses, you're officially financially independent. Like I said, I'm aiming for this kind of lifestyle. I'm not there yet. I'm on a journey. But this can become our focus in life. This end goal of freedom and comfort that comes with financial independence can be the thing that consumes our thoughts and our actions. And when we get there, unless you've done it in a sustainable way, unless you've learned contentment on the journey, unless you know what you like doing or what you want to do with your life, it's just another chasing after the wind. I've got some episodes for you to check out if you want to deep dive a little bit more on financial independence and a life of freedom. Check out episode 86, Are You Retired from the 9 to 5? How do you get there? 78, Why I Don't Want to Retire and You Shouldn't Either. How Freedom Starts Now. 76, The Anti-Retirement Plan with Retire Often author Gillian Johnsrud. And then the Financial Health series, which is episode 12 to 16. Great stuff out there, I'm telling you, this podcast. Oh. So, what is the point? Well, struggle is not the point in and of itself. Comfort isn't the point in and of itself. So here's a mental framework that worked for me personally. Enjoy your work. Enjoy your relationships with others. Enjoy your relationship with God. And if you're not enjoying these things, it's worth taking a pause. Ask yourself, what am I working toward? How am I pursuing comfort right now? What empty promise is it making me? Is what I'm striving for satisfying me? Is there joy in the process? Am I pursuing something to escape from something else? So here's the practical challenge as we close. This week, notice one moment where you choose comfort by default, even without deciding to. One opportunity where you took the easy option at the expense of your long-term game. Maybe it's the lie-in, the second glass of wine, or maybe avoiding a conversation you know you need to have. You don't have to overhaul your life, just notice it. And once you've noticed this, ask the bigger question. Where are you idolizing long-term comfort that won't actually satisfy you when you get there? Where are you focusing so much on the future you're forgetting about the now? That's it for today. I do hope you will join me. Make sure you are following the podcast. Make sure you share the episode with a friend. And I will see you in episode 100. Just around the corner, financial independence, cost of living, what it actually takes to become semi-retired by 40. You don't want to miss that. Till next time, peace out.